Hi there, gang. How about today we repair some scratches? No power tools whatsoever. No rotary, no $500 DA, no pneumatic tools, just the tools that the Lord gave us, and throw in a little bit of elbow grease. So today I am repping a shirt that a subscriber sent in. As I have mentioned before, any sub that wants to send in a shirt doesn't have to be a detail business, any business at all, really. I will support you as you guys have done such a great job supporting me. So I'll put my email down below and an address. Go ahead, keep them coming. So we have some scratches on a roof, fell down from the cross members of a garage. We're going to take care of that today with just our hands. Let's get it done. Okay guys, the fan is stored in a garage overnight where things are stored above it, laying up over the cross members, and occasionally fall down onto the van like it did here. So we have an area of about 10 to 12 spots looking just like this, and you can see they are, they're not very long, but they go down into the clear pretty far. We're going to take care of that by hand. And to start off, I have my favorite foam sanding block. It's a hook and loop for attachment for the Trizact film discs. Now, you don't have to have this kind of expensive Trizact foam disc. You can have just sandpaper, wrap it around a magic eraser, or maybe a sponge, or anything that is soft and has some give, but yet firm enough that you can wrap the sandpaper around and grip with the palm of your hand. We're going to lay some water down, and we have 2000 grit sandpaper here, and we're just going to do a test area, a couple passes just like this here. We're going to clear off the residue and come in and take a look and see how the clear is cutting. Is the clear hard? Is it soft? Has it been repainted? How thick is it? So this is a good test area. I'm going to bring you in first person so you can take a look yourself. Me looking at this after just a few short passes tells me the paint, the clear, is on the softer side. So it's not going to take a lot to correct these spots. And here you can see there are some still showing through the scratches we made after just a few passes with the 2000 grit. So I'm going to add a little bit more water to the foam block, to the sanding disc, and I'm going to get to work and finish those spots, the remaining spots that still exist. If you take notice where my hand is, you'll see I don't have a lot of pressure on the block. 2 or 3 fingers are applying the pressure. It's not a lot. By the way, the block are some left over that I kept from a 3M headlight correction system. I always keep those around because they're great tools for just this job here. I'm also quite frequently asked where to get the Trizact discs, and I'll put a link down below, but they're really not needed. You can go to any parts store and get kits where they have 2 or 3 sheets each from 800 grit all the way up to 4,000 or 5,000 in a kit. Not bad. Just fold around a magic eraser or a sponge. Whichever method you choose, you're going to be absolutely fine. Sandpaper wrapped around a magic eraser or foam or a sponge will conform to the shape of the panel you're working on just as good as the little foam block that I have with the Trizact disc. Here I wanted to bring you in close again to give you an idea what it looks like. The scratches are now removed, and we're about ready to move on to the next step, which is taking off the 2000 grit, slapping on a 4000 grit, and now it's time to blend. The area is going to be quite a bit larger than the area we just worked on, part of the blending process. And we're also now removing the scratches we made with the 2000 grit disc. It's not going to be a whole lot of pressure with this step either. We're also going to be sanding against the grain, the opposite direction of the way we were sanding in the previous step. Why? Well, this is going to make it a lot easier for us to tell us when the sanding marks for the 2000 grit are dissipated and completely gone. That tells us we're ready to move on to the next step. For the beginners out there, the foamy substance that's trailing my sanding block is actually clear coat that's being lifted by the sanding disc. Keep in mind that has to be removed and cleaned up in between each step. And that's exactly what I'm going to do here. I'm going to bring in a clean microfiber. I'm going to clean up that residue and get it dry so I can bring you in and show you what it looks like. And in addition, since we are moving on to compounding from sanding, I'm going to use an IP mix or strippies or whatever you may use to clean your surface of waxes, residues, and anything like that. So that's what I'm doing here. Spray it on, simply wipe it off. So we'll switch it to first person again and give you an idea of what it looks like at this stage of the process. Not very pretty now, but we are over halfway done now, guys. So it's time to shed those sanding discs. It's time to grab our polishing or compound foam pad. By the way, guys, I have accumulated these because I always keep pads that are about to be retired from my 2-inch or 3-inch polishers. I clean them up and I set them aside for just this purpose right here. So for this step, we're going to be compounding an area that is about 2 to 3 inches larger on each side than the area we just corrected with the sanding paper. And I mark that, dabbing the compound around, kind of making a little area, an outline, and I'll get to work. This isn't the heaviest cut cream that I have, but this leans towards a heavy cut cream. This is going to get it ready for an ultra cut I have ready to follow up here. Down below, I'm going to put a link for the compounds and really anything else that we have used today. Now keep in mind the polishing and sanding foam block I have in my hand here are some that I kept left over from the 3M headlight restoration kits. There won't be a link for those. You can certainly keep some of those from any kits you might purchase, or you can make your own. Alright, that's going to be good enough with the heavy cut compound. We're going to remove the residue or whatever leftover spent compound is still remaining, and we'll get ready for the next step. That is going to be our next step right there, Redemption by Angel Wax. It is an ultra-fine cutting compound. We're going to apply that to our polishing foam pad that's attached to the foam block, and we're going to finish up. And as we have done with the previous steps, we're going to continue on with the blending process and make the area we're working just a bit larger, about 2-3 inches on each side. We're going to mark that with a couple dabs of the compound and finish up. And guys, if you have absolutely everything you need to complete this job from start to finish within arm's reach, that you're not jumping up and down and going to grab something every couple minutes, you will have this job done in somewhere around 10 minutes. No machines, no air compressors, no electric hookup, just your hands. And in really no time at all, with hardly any pressure, it's time to wipe off the residue, get rid of that spent polish. I'll bring you in to take a look. We're all ready for either a finishing wax, a sealant, some protection of any kind that you choose. And here we are. We're all done, guys. The area is corrected. It's back to looking great again, and it's time to move on with the rest of the detail. So, first of all, I would like to thank Jimmy from across the pond for the shirt. It's comfortable. I like it. I appreciate it. I appreciate the support from all you guys. And I'll put my email down below, an address if you want to keep sending them in. I will definitely rep you guys as you support me. It's very important that it goes both ways. So there was a method, guys and girls. No power tools. No generator. No air compressor, no electric hookup. You have scratches, you have your car out in the driveway, all you need is these guys here, some sandpaper block, a little bit of water, some polish and compound, and you can get to it. If you have any questions at all, don't hesitate. I'm always here to help you. Brian from Apex Detail. Catch you in the next video.